Hi, I'm Captain Steve Chaconis, and welcome to the National Bass Fishing Show. I've been guiding out of a Skeeter bass boat for 25 years. It has all the modern conveniences of electronics and a powerful Yamaha 250 horsepower outboard, power poles, electronics, everything. But the one thing it doesn't have is the capability to go on small lakes because they are restricted to no outboard motors. So I have a lot of clients who wanted me to take them out on their own lake. So I decided to put together an all-electric boat to do just that. This is my 2017 Tracker TXW 175. A great little boat. They come with outboards. I bought this one without an outboard, started taking stuff off, putting new and better stuff back on it. One of the first things I did, believe it or not, is this bow roller. The bow roller that came from Tracker wasn't any good, so I wanted to go with a harder one. The other thing that I did while I was down here, I said, let me go ahead and put one of those keel guards in here, because when you fish a lot of small waters, you're going to be running aground to get in and out. There are no docks or anything like that. So a keel guard not only makes the boat look better, but also protects the hull while you're cruising around. Eventually, I'm going to replace the winch and the jack with a Fulton because these are not very good. They're adequate for now, but I will be upgrading. One of the first things that I took off the boat was the trolling motor. I had a 12-volt system. I went to an Ultrex 24-volt system. Best thing you can do with these boats, whether you're using them for big water or small water, is to upgrade to your trolling motor to a 24-volt system. Also, when I built this, I needed to anchor down up from the front of the boat. And you can't really reach from here all the way up to here with a wrench so that you could tighten a nut and bolt down. So what I did was I got one of these things. This is called a riv nut. That's right. It looks like a rivet, but it also is threaded inside, so it's kind of like a nut. And you use these little clamps right here, and you pull up on it, and it sets that just like a rivet. The tighter you make your bolt in here, the tighter this gets into your boat, and it won't come out. Okay, so I put the trolling motor in. I also upgraded the plug. So I have the power comes through here, and I built a metal power panel right here, and that panel adds more stability to that all the stuff that I have on it, which I have some electronics on this panel here. So this kind of braces everything together, makes this a little more rigid. Also put more electronics on. I put the Garmin Perspective mount. I have Humminbird that I use primarily for making maps. It's great at making maps. It also will hold all my waypoints. So together, the live scope with the Garmin and the Humminbird with all my maps and waypoints works really well. Tying it all together, the right height turret. This thing allows me to go with spot lock with this Ultrex, but also allows me to use this while I'm in spot lock without affecting the trolling motor and it being locked down. It has its own independent motor, this independent shaft, and it has my transducer right here, which their perspective mount allows me to turn the transducer on its side like this, but have it angled just about any way that I want because it's adjustable with this nut right here. Also, they have a cable protector that I put on there as well. This is just a brace that Right Height has, so it braces this pole with the shaft of your trolling motor. Also covered all my cables with a TH Marine troll jacket. It looks better, less likely you're going to grab a wire, hook a wire. It's just one good thing to go ahead and add to that. One of the things I had to do, because I was using 2D sonar a lot, I was fishing down deep, your boat, even level in the water, is not level because now your transducer could be pointed out or back. So the way to do that is you balance your boat. There's a lot of videos on these. You put some shims under here. You basically take it out in the water, run a level on it, come back and replicate that in your garage. Add this so that makes it level when you're on the water. Works pretty good until you get a guy in the back of the boat that either weighs a lot more or a lot less than the guy that you're used to fishing with. Okay, so that's pretty much what we have here in the front of the boat. This is the foot pedal for that Right Height turret. Okay, so I could hit this foot pedal while I'm cruising around. If you look here on the other side, those are my buttons up and down for, yes, this boat has power poles, power pole blades, 10-foot blades, and boy, are they something. I'll show you where I put the pumps in just a second. If you look now towards the front of the boat, you see I have no throttle, no steering wheel. Again, no throttle, no steering wheel. So that allowed me to extend my deck a foot. So I've extended my deck a foot so I can put my rods up there, have a little room. I can, put a couple bait boxes out there if I want to. They're not under my feet. So I've got a lot more room in the front. I made my own power panel. I went ahead and put the important switches in. I've got my charger right there that I could charge my cell phone during the day. I've got the horn, the bilge, the live wells, and this is navigation lights. So this is all set and it's very sturdy. It's in there to stay. I have a little cubby hole there that I keep a lure retriever. Underneath you can see all of my wiring that I did with this boat. I also made the shelf. This shelf right here kind of runs along the gunnel. And on the shelf, I put this little Rubbermaid contraption, little container there, and I keep some of the stuff that I need to get to right away. That doesn't matter if it's out in the elements, and it's heavy enough so it'll stay in there. I kept this little channel that comes with these boats. This was for the steering cable and the throttle cable, but I use this now just for my transducer cable that runs here to the back of the boat. I also use that riv nut on these. I got rid of those stand-up cleats because they were always in the way. Probably didn't need to have as many cleats on the boat as what it came with, but I used the riv nut, just drilled the holes, put the riv nut in, and then, because the other ones were riveted in, these are now bolted in, and they're in really sturdy, and I've got fold-down cleats. Well, like I said, here are those power poles. Aren't they a thing of beauty? Look at those things. 10-foot power pole blades, and Power Pole sells a bracket that bolts to the back of these trackers in any other aluminum boat. So these brackets are really sturdy. You've got the inside, you've got a metal plate right here where your 4 bolts come through, and they come through the whole hull like that. These things aren't going anywhere, and I've been out in some pretty hefty winds out in some places like West Virginia. It gets really windy. I'm going to be putting this in. This is the best charging system. This is a Power Pole charge system, and it'll charge all my batteries, but also share power. So if I'm running low on one of my batteries, then I can switch power from one battery to another. They're also very smart chargers. They can charge lithium, they can charge AGMs, they can charge just your regular lead acid batteries. This is my power switch for my power poles. I can turn them on and off, so there's no accidental deployment. I don't want that when I'm driving down the road. They're wired too. And again, the batteries, I mentioned batteries. Batteries are so important. If you're going to go all electric, get good batteries. I'm not totally sold on lithium yet, so I'm using the best technology that's available. These are Deca 31 series AGMs. This one right here has the little alligator clips, goes to the positive, goes to the negative, and that will turn on this little trolling motor, and it's a 40-pound thrust. It's a 40-pound thrust, and this will get me around where I need to go. I use this, I lock it down, and then I use the remote control on the Ultrex to take me where I want to go. But I've got 3 batteries here. This is the one for the motor in the back, and these 2 right here are for the trolling motor in the front. They're for the Ultrex, and you can see all the way up front there. So they fit barely, but they fit. My power pole pumps, yep, they're in the gas tank. No more gas tank, cut it out, and put the power pole pumps in there. And I've got a few other little things that I keep in the bottom there, spare prop for my trolling motors and things like that I know I'm not going to use very often. I put the transducer for the side imaging down here. Also, I added boat buckles. My goodness, why on earth do they sell boats at all without boat buckles? These things are great. If you haven't seen them work before, they're pretty simple. Just push this button, pull up on the buckle, and it stows it away. When you're ready to leave again, you just pull it up, hook it up, buckle it, and you're done. Okay? Charging system goes right through here, this power line. Also, the hoses for my power pole pumps are running through there as well. Boat's equipped right now. Everything in the back is basically as this boat comes. You'll see over here on this side that I have identical 12-inch extension. The rod butts for my co-angler can fit in there, so they can put their rods across the side. I've got my throwable device, and then I have my boating papers and a box in dry storage right there that I keep for mapping and stuff like that. All right, now this was really important when I built this boat because I have 3 batteries in the back. So 2 of them run my trolling motor, my Ultrex, in the front of the boat. 1 of them runs this trolling motor in the back of the boat. I needed another one for my electronics and the accessories. So I lifted up this, what used to be the center seat here, and lo and behold, there was a little bit of space. There's a metal panel. You need to unscrew it. It comes out, and there is another 31 series Deca AGM. This will run my electronics all day long. And literally, when you have an electric boat, your electronics are on 8 and 10 hours straight. So you need something that's going to hold things together. So that's pretty much it. I've got my side imaging unit there. You see the layout of the boat. That is from the front. This is to the rear. And that is my 2017 all-electric boat. So there you have it. A small water bass boat that has everything that my Skeeter has on it and can go anywhere in places that my Skeeter either can't go or is not allowed. I'm Captain Steve Chaconis. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll subscribe and tell your friends about us.